Good morning, children. Today we are looking at our reading book. Some of you may have seen this book already, and some of you may have not. Right? So we are going to look at the reading today, what we call oral reading. Now, first, let's look at the cover of the book. This is the front cover of our book. Right? It has the name on it, the name of the book, and it also has a picture of what we should expect inside the book. Okay, let's take a look at the name of the book first. I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to use my red pencil to help us. Now, first of all, let's look at the first word. It begins with an N. What's the sound of what's the first word here that we're looking at right here? What's the sound of N? That's right. And we have two letters making one sound, the O and the A. What sound is that? O. And then we have the T. So let's sound it out. Mm, O together, moat. So that first word is moat. Now, from our creative writing last week, we also named a certain place where we find the farmer and animals and so on. Does anyone remember what that word is? This is the word that we're talking about. Yes, this is the word. Let's sound it out. The sound of F, A, R, and the sound of M. Let's put together. Farm. Farm. That word is farm. Let's go back to the first word. Moat. The first word tells us the name of the farm. The name of the special place is Moat, and it's a farm, so we call it Moat Farm. Now, a moat is sort of like a big pond outside of a castle. So in this farm, we probably have to look out for a pond or something like that. That's why they probably call it moat farm. Good. So today we are looking at moat farm. Let's move on to the next page and see what we can find. Okay, we're going to move on. We'll turn the page. Here we see the moat farm and we see many animals on the farm. There are two animals that we did not see in our creative writing. We saw in our creative writing, we saw sheep, cows, horses, and chickens. There were two animals here that we didn't see in our creative writing lesson this morning. Can you guess what those two animals are? Let me see if you observe them. Yes, cat and two dogs. There were no dogs or cats in our creative writing lesson. Also, we don't have a barn. We don't have a barn in this picture. This is called a farmhouse. That's called a farmhouse. It's where the farmer stays with his family, right? And we call it a farmhouse, not a barn. The barns are usually red. We really don't have barns in Trinidad and Tobago. We may have a farmhouse, but not a barn. Okay, so let's move on now to the first page. Now here we see our tricky words. We know all these tricky words already. And here are our characters of our reading book. Here's bee, we see inky here, and snake. Then we have the sound of all letters, all the letter sounds we've learned that you know so far. One of them, you see the OAO sound that we looked at today right there. Okay, moving on to page 1, where you see that number 1 there, that's page 1. So here we have a picture of Moat Farm again, the same picture that we had at the front. We also have a sentence. Okay, so here's what we know so far. We know this word. Moat. What's that word? Moat. And we know this word. Okay, let me get my pencil to help us. My red pencil. I love red. Yes, we know this word is moat. Moat. And we know this word is arm. Arm. Good. Let's take a look at this first word here. In this first word, we have two letters, T and H. Together, they make two sounds. They make a heavy sound, the, or a soft sound. Both of those sounds we make by putting our tongue between our teeth, like this. The, okay, try doing it. Now, in this word, there's the heavy sound. So we say the, this. Say it. Good. And we know is. Let's get ready to read this entire sentence. This, read it with me. This is Moat Farm. Listen to me now. This is Moat Farm. Because when we read as though we are talking to somebody. Right? Read it with me. Come on. This is Moat Farm. At the end, we have our full stop, which means we have to stop reading right there. That tells us our sentence is complete, it's finished. Also, Moat begins with a capital letter. Did you notice that? And farm also begins with a capital letter. I'm sure you noticed that. That's because they are saying the names of place, of a special place. That's why we have to put them in capital letter. We write New Grant, capital N for new, and a capital G for grant. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next page. So I'm going to move on now. Here we see the sheep, the farmhouse, the dogs again, the cat. And here's an animal there, a dog. He's taking a nap. Do you think he's tired or he's just being lazy? I think he's tired. Okay. And here some chickens, they're having a quarrel or fight. Good. Let's look at page 2. Do you see the number 2? Good. Now let's look at farmer. Here's the word farm. Let me get my pencil. We're looking at the farmer here. Let's just go down and take a good look at him. Here's a farmer. How do we know he's a farmer? We just have to look at what he's wearing. He's wearing boots. Farmers wear boots because they have to, most of the times they go in the mud. They go to the chicken coops to clean them up and all the other animals, so they need to wear boots to keep their feet clean. Let's look at what else he's wearing. This blue outfit that he's wearing is called an overall or coverall. That's what farmers like to wear to protect their clothes. Also, he has an animal on his arm, a little goat, a baby goat is called a kid. So he has a kid on his arm, and he has his hat for the hot sun. So he's dressed up just like a farmer. So we have to say that he's a farmer. Let's find out more about him. His name. Now everyone has a name. Even this farmer has a name. Let's find out what his name is. So you see the word farm here. The word farm. Farm. And then we have the let's put it together. Farmer. Say it. Farmer. And here's his name. Green. Green. Farmer Green. What's his name? Yes, his name is Farmer Green. And let's look at the word moat here again and the word farm. So these are words we know. We know the word farmer. We know his name is Green. and we know moat farm. Let's look at this new word here. Now we have a special letter in the middle there. Does anyone know about this letter? Yes. It's the silent E, and the silent E does not make a sound. But sometimes he interferes with the vowels and he makes them say their name. But he isn't doing that. He's behaving himself in this word. So I is not going to shout out I. He's going to say eh. So let's sound out this word. Eh. Mm, lives. This word is lives. Let's read the sentence now. Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. Read it again. Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. He lives there. That's where he stays. He stays on Moat Farm. He makes his home there. We all have a place to stay. We all live somewhere. I live in Town. Most of you live in New Grant or Thurrock Trace. Okay? So the place where you live is your home. So Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. He makes his home on Moat Farm. Okay? Now let's read this sentence together. It's a bit longer than the last one, but don't worry about the length of the sentence. We can't do anything once we put our minds to it. Okay, children? Now, when, as I said, when we read as though we are talking. We don't read and stop. It's very good to sound out your words first. And once you sound out your words and you know it, then you practice to read without stopping. That's called being fluent. So let's read fluently, or we are reading without stopping because we know all the words. We know the word farmer, we know the word green, we sound out the word lives, we know on, and we know the name of the farm, it's Moat Farm. So let's begin again. We are doing it together after two. One, two. Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. One more time. Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. Read it for yourself. Very good. Let's read the first sentence on page 1. Going back to page 1, where we are going to find the first sentence. This is Moat Farm. We are introducing everyone to Moat Farm. If you have a friend and you want to let your other friends know who this is, you say, this is my friend. This is John. Or this is Mary. So here we are being introduced to Moat Farm. We're going to get to know Moat Farm. Let's read it together after two. One, two. This is Moat Farm. Excellent. Read it for yourself now. Look at my pointer. Very good. Now let's go on to sentence number 2. Let's read it together again. Farmer Green lives on Moat Farm. Read it for yourself. Excellent. Well done, children. So today we practice being fluent. Being fluent means reading without stopping or reading until you see a full stop or a comma. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have to sound out your words anymore. You still have to sound out your words. But when you sound out your words, make sure you practice to read the sentence without stopping. Sound it out first, and once you get it, remember it, and then you practice reading fluently. So when I call you on Thursday, I'll be listening to you read to me fluently without stopping. Well done, children.